Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here at the MLM Solution. How you doing today? Today's Friday, Freelance Friday. And golly, it's hard to believe. Today is already February 19th. Next week's the last week of February. Wow. All right. Well, with that being said, as you know, each and every day, Monday through Friday, we go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We stream to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. You can catch us there. You can also go to our website, catch us there as well. Today, as I said, is Freelance Friday. You can see it in the ticker, number 41. Hard to believe it's episode 41 already. My gosh. Okay, guys, if you like what we're doing, please give us a thumbs up on all of our, all of our social media platforms. We appreciate it. If you will, subscribe, comment, like, share. We always depend on you guys to help get the word out. And you can use hashtag the MLM Solution to find us anywhere on the internet. And also, you can use that same hashtag to share our platforms with our fellow network marketers all across the world. Please visit us once again at themlmsolution.net. A lot of great information. You'll want to go there. There's a lot of great stuff there that we do not cover here. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off of here in a moment. We're going to be going live, me and Miss Marie, and we'll see you very shortly.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today? This wonderful Friday.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
All right, guys, it's Friday. Freelance Friday is we talk anything and everything, network marketing, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. We're the only ones to talk about the ugly stuff, Miss Marie.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how a lot of people want to avoid the reality of some of the things that go on in the network marketing industry. It's not all happy, joy. I hate to tell you.
I know, isn't that the truth? But You know what? There is us. We are the one and only. And thank God that there's us. Because if it wasn't, I don't know what they would do.
Well, they'd end up doing what we did, Rob. They'd learn the hard way.
Yes, they would. And there's some books that cover it. Not many. Zig Ziglar does.
Did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. His book, Network Marketing for Dummies. Yeah.
I definitely have it in there.
And then your book, What Not to Do in Network Marketing. That's one of my favorites because you know what? There is such an advantage to people who learn from the mistakes of others. And obviously, you and I have been involved in this industry long enough that I think we've done anything that could be done wrong, we've probably done wrong at some point.
You're giving me too much credit. But
so, yeah, to be able to learn from the mistakes of others, to learn what not to do in network marketing right up front so you can avoid those pitfalls. And then, of course, on the flip side of it, in your ebook, of course, you share the opposite of it, what they should do instead, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a great book. I love that book.
Well, I'll be honest with you, in my heart, it's my favorite. I remember somebody, I won't say a famous person, said, Rob, that title's too negative. And I was taken back by that. Nobody will buy it. And I was like, okay. Then I had another gentleman who's also very famous, but underground wise. He's one of the, how would you say, forerunners of the internet marketing industry years ago. He said, Rob, that's a $20 million product. And so there you go.
Yeah. Well, do you realize that that was the first thing we collaborated on together?
Yes, I do. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful to you for that. I do. I remember that very well. I'm surprised you do.
Good times, good times. That's one of those things. Yeah, I don't forget those things.
Yeah, well, I don't either. It's been a long journey, that's for sure. And it's something that, as I look back, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. Because when you enjoy something, like they would say, if you enjoy it, you're not working. It's never been work for me. The wife says, "When are you going to give that up?" I said, "Why?" I said, "What is it hurting? I'm having fun, and you know what? We're making money." And I said, "Well, what difference does it make?" In this conversation years ago, and she said, "Well, you've been doing it long enough. Don't you feel like you've done enough?" And I said, "Well, no." I said, "There's so many different directions I can go into." And then when I brought up this podcast, she just kind of like, "Oh, another thing."
Yes, another thing, but the best thing yet.
Yeah, it is the best thing, and the future is so bright. She's not really an entrepreneurial type person. My first wife was not, and guys, I've only been married twice, and I really thought that when of course, when I was single, I did whatever I wanted, obviously, and I still do to some degree, but you always have to be mindful of the person that you're with, obviously. And I listen and I respect her input, but it doesn't dictate what I do, as she knows. But like I told her, I said, "Well, look, you know what? I'm having fun. I'm at an age, and I don't want to retire, Miss Maria. I don't want to just sit around and do nothing, or I want to be active. I want to be out there doing things and having a positive impact." And as you and I know, you have the same passion for this industry as I do. And I think the thing that bothered me the most, Miss Marie, is all the lies and misdeeds that are done. And it just broke my heart that people, without even realizing, Miss Marie, they get excited about the business model and about the possibilities. And when they join, they have no clue who to trust. They have no clue what to do. They have no clue all the pitfalls that come with this business model and all the shenanigans that are taking place on a daily basis. And they're putting their reputation, their hard-earned money, and all this other stuff, their time obviously is valuable, into something that really they don't understand. And they certainly don't know how it works. But the point is, they're trusting the person that they barely know 100%. And it just broke my heart to see so many people taking advantage of, and then them walking away with such a bad image of the industry when it wasn't the industry that did it to them. It was the person.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, and that's one of the ugly aspects, and it's been true for decades now, is people get into recruiting mode and they make it sound like it's so easy and they're going to make money hand over fist right away. And, oh, you need money now. This is the way to do it. And, we've done multiple episodes talking about different aspects of that, and the fact that that just isn't true. And most people who are approached for a network marketing opportunity aren't looking for one. They're not in an entrepreneurial mindset. They have no desire to do a side hustle. They just want to be able to do their job and do their thing. I think our generation really started a different mindset when it comes to the whole idea of retirement, right? Yeah. I don't know about you, but like my folks, their idea of retirement, my dad especially, was he was going to sit in his Barco lounger with his beer and his cigarettes, and he was going to watch TV, and he was going to relax and enjoy his retirement. Yeah. That was his goal. I mean, that was his goal. Mm-hmm. And you and I, like you just said, it's like, well, you could retire and you could be sitting on the beach doing nothing, but that's nice for a week or two to sit back and relax. But after a while, it gets boring because it's the challenge of pursuing something, of accomplishing something, of adding value to the world, to people's lives, doing something. Not necessarily that you want to have to have a job and work through retirement, like you see some folks, the Walmart greeters or the baggers in the grocery stores who you look at them and you're like, this was not the retirement they had planned.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And they're certainly not doing it for fun unless they're really different, which I guess is possible.
Yeah.
But those types of retirement activities aren't particularly fun. But when you can pursue a side hustle, something that's a passion, and you're able to monetize it at the same time, why not?
Yes, I agree. And you're right about the retirement aspect of it. I have no desire to. I've been retired. I mean, when I retired in '97, I was 39 years old, and for the most part, I just kind of drifted around. I was like you. You said something the other day. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, maybe it was Monday. I can't remember. And you said something. I was unemployable. Well, that was me. One of my greatest accomplishments was being in the military, where you're told where to go, what to say, what to wear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every part of your life is monitored and structured. And I have nothing. I'm very proud of the fact that I was in the military. But what I'm even more proud of is that I've survived, because I was rebellious by nature, entrepreneur, and I was trapped. I was a square peg in a round hole. And it took a lot of discipline for me to honor my obligation, because, when you re-enlist, number one, it's not automatic. Number two, it is a gift. They decide every time you come up for re-enlistment whether you're worthy. And so anyway, the thing is that they can say no at any time. They can say, no, we don't want you back. And so anyway, when I voluntarily re-enlisted, I had an obligation as a professional to do what I was hired to do. And that is obey, follow the rules, obey what I was told to do, et cetera, et cetera. And so I did that. You know why I did that, Miss Marie? Because I had a family to support. And it was the best way. And I got my degree. I got one of my degrees while I was in there. And so the thing is that I'm very, by the fact I had to discipline myself that way, I'm very proud of that. I was able to make it through there unscathed. So, but once I got out in the corporate world, and I went into the corporate world on purpose. When I got out and came back to Louisville, I kind of drifted around for 6-7 months, not really sure what I wanted to do. Wasn't even sure if I wanted to be in Kentucky, to be honest with you. But the girl I was with at the time, she loved it here, and I kind of came here out of default because the family was here. Not really knowing what I wanted to do or where to go. But anyway, long story short, she's still here, as I told you before. She always loved it, and I'm glad I stayed. But I could have easily ended up in the Virgin Islands, somewhere in the Caribbean. I can tell you that now. And I love my kids and my grandkids. Once the first time, well, I got out at 39 because when I called around to HR corporations, they said, well, if you turn 40, it's a totally different category. And I was like, well, what do you mean? They said, well, you only have 20-something years of productive life left, because we know as you get older, you're going to end up in the hospital, you're going to have this, you're going to have that. So you're really only going to have maybe 17 years of, and it costs us more to insure you and all this. This is back when you had, when they contributed to your IRA and all that. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Good old days when they had good insurance and all that. And so anyway, they said, if you're going to get out at 39 and come into the corporate world, because believe it or not, that 1 year, Miss Marie, made all the difference in the world. Think about it. They had young kids that would come in from college or whatever, and they would have 40 years if they worked out with the company. And that's what the company wanted, was those kind of people, high quality people that were going to be with them for 40 years, right? And, your parents, my parents worked at GE for 40-something, minimum 40 years. I think my dad was there for 45, 46. My mom was there for 43. And that was the mode of operation, wasn't it, Miss Marie, back in the day?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You stay with the company long term. And so anyway, what I'm saying here is that when I was looking to get out, the mindset was we need people that are going to be here long term. And when I went over 40, they knew that health was going to cut into my productivity for that company. And they would rather hire somebody cheaper because I came, with all my experience, which was more expensive for them. So as you can see, my back was up against the wall. There's a reason why a lot of ex-military struggle going into the civilian world, and I was determined not to let that happen to me. But like I said, I kind of goofed around for 6 months and then decided, okay, I'll go into the corporate world, because I always wondered, could I make it in the corporate world? Because once again, it was kind of a structured environment, right? And I had a lot of experience, and I thought, well, I bring a lot to the table. Well, that was an experiment that didn't do well. Like you said, you talked about some of the things you said and did. Me too. Me too. And my brother taught me to contract myself out, which I did. I worked for some of the largest companies in the world, UPS, in major positions, Ford. I could go on and on. Papa John's International at the headquarters. Golly, it's been so long. I mean, I got a long list of companies, world-renowned companies that I've worked with. And boy, that was quite an experience. And that opened up my eyes to what I didn't want, Miss Marie. That's when I realized, okay, I need to be really retired. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
So then I kind of managed my assets, my real estate and stocks and bonds and all my investments. And then I saw the telltale signs of a crash of some type coming, and I sold everything in 2006. Before the
Good
crash.
timing.
Yep, got top dollar for everything. So can't beat that, can you?
Nope.
So
how do you feel now? You think there's a real estate bubble happening now?
No, I think because of the low interest rates, there's indicators. Let me just say this real quick. Unemployment, car sales, home sales. You can't go by Wall Street. Wall Street is nothing more than Vegas in New York. That's all it is. And it's artificially inflated by money outside of the United States and by our federal government. Not a conspiracy, it's true. So you really can't go by that. And you really can't, you got to just say, like, right now I have money in gold, silver, and blue chip companies. And I showed the wife. The wife's always asking, well, she knows gold and silver's doing good. She says, well, how's the other stuff doing? And I show her. And Miss Marie, I've made over 200% return on my money. Because I went with blue chip companies that are down value-wise, and they've gone up quite a bit. So, I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure this stuff out, right? But I don't get caught up in Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been in my account in weeks. The wife asked me the other day, well, how's it doing? I don't know. I haven't freaking been in there. And I just had money automatically going in there and buying stuff. And so anyway, I got to buy gold and silver today, matter of fact. But the thing is that the indicators, the true indicators of car sales, unemployment, home sales, and somewhat Wall Street. Because here's what it is, Miss Marie. When the numbers get up to like over 30,000, what it is, it's artificially inflated, okay? And it's like you and I in an old locomotive where they shoveled coal into the boiler. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Well, you and I are shoveling too much coal, and that metal can only handle so much heat before it starts getting stress crack, and it'll start melting, and the structural integrity of that metal will start to be compromised, and it'll explode. And the reason I give that example is the tremendous heat that's being generated by too much coal going in there. There is a level. You got to let it burn down. I don't know if you know that, before you put more in there. And so that's where it's operating at its most efficient. Well, the economy is the same way. The money and the manipulation that's taken place, that's what Trump was talking about. He understood money. He understood what the feds were doing, and he was calling them out on it. And people were getting all pissed off. Well, the people that were getting pissed off were the elites who were making billions, literally billions, and sometimes trillions, off of the manipulation of the public's trust and money. And so what they would do, they would attack Trump and say he didn't know what he was doing in this and that, when in actuality, he was calling them out for exactly what they were doing. I don't know if you remember that. And they backed off, believe it or not, which was really surprising. And the thing is, he was spot on, because he knew that they were going to be hurting the people like us, if you have a lot of money invested in there. Just like what went on with Reddit, the GameStop thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're turning that around. What they do is really unethical. When they short sell stocks, that's horrible. They pick a company, and this is not brilliance by no means. This is horrible, mean people taking advantage of innocent, hardworking people. This is not my soapbox here. You were asked about the telltale signs, but here's one. What they do is they short sell. They pick a company. Years ago, they picked on Herbalife. I don't know if you remember that.
No. But
they try to short sell it. And kudos to his wife. She got the company when he died. And I wasn't sure she was going to be able to do it. But anyway, her and her advisor saved that company, Herbalife. They tried to put it out of business by short selling it. But, when they short sell it, they make money when a company fails. And then they turn around and buy the company and rebuild it sometimes, not all the time. And so they're making billions both ways. Well, a lot of smart, savvy people on Reddit said, hey, this is what they're doing. And so they knew that if they went and bought a bunch of shares of GameStop, it would cause the value of the stock to go up, and those people would lose billions. Well, that pissed them off. And now they're trying to get the authorities to go after the Reddit people because they cost them billions of dollars, when in fact what they're doing is borderline illegal and definitely unethical. They were trying to drive a company, GameStop, out of business and take people's jobs away, not caring one iota about the effect it was going to have on people's investments, savings, retirements, and the jobs. They didn't give a shit. It's all about the money. So anyway, the reason I tell you that in that story is because this is with the manipulation type things that take place on Wall Street all the time. And the only reason that Wall Street has the reputation it does is because the Marxist mainstream media props it up like this bastion of glory and all righteousness, and it's not. So anyway, the point is, when it's over 30,000 and it's running that hot because of artificial money, and then if you look at the unemployment numbers, you look at the car sales and the home sales, you start getting the picture, the total, because it's that total picture that will tell you, in essence, to some degree, in interest rates. Those indicators will tell you where things are going. The only thing that's saving us right now, Miss Marie, is because we have tremendously low interest rates. Car sales are solid. Unemployment's low for the most part. This is how strong our economy was when Trump was in. Despite the fact that this virus has stopped a lot of top producing states like California and Texas and all of that from producing what they normally produce. I don't know if you know, but Texas has the 5th largest GNP of the world. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. So the thing is that their economies have suffered, obviously, because of all this crazy political bullcrap, and we're still got low interest rates and relatively low unemployment to some degree, considering. So right now, those things are good. Home sales are solid. So things are not tipping towards the bad. And the answer is, to your question, is no, not at the moment. But I will say that if we get up around 34, 35,000, get nervous, especially if unemployment starts to go up.
Now, when you say 34, 35,000, you're talking about the
Wall Street. Yeah, Wall Street. When the numbers start, forget about the stocks, forget about the bonds. That really doesn't matter. It's the total picture, and the total picture, when the numbers are going up like that, a lot of times, once again, it's artificially inflated. And what's happening is that it's not the general public, Miss Marie, that's always doing that. What it is, that it's a gamble. The guys that have the connections and have the money are playing roulette with the economy. And part of the way they do that is through manipulation of the numbers, which people watch every night and say, oh, I mean, think about it, Miss Marie. People are saying, oh, it's going up 5,000 points. I got to get my money in there quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what does that do? That builds that heat up even more. Well, it can only go so far beyond the sales of cars, beyond the sale of homes, beyond the price of gold, beyond the interest rates before it starts cracking. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So gold and silver is what I would tell you, Miss Marie, because I'm willing to lose the money on my blue chip companies. That's the reason why I have gold and silver as a hedge, because it'll more than make up for what I'll lose if the economy tanks. Does that make sense?
Yep, that sure does.
And you know what? If the economy tanks, it would be catastrophic, kid you not, if it was to go from 30,000 down to below 10,000. That's catastrophic. I mean, that's uncharted. That's what was that? Black. What was that? 1929.
Oh, that started the Great Depression or whatever.
Yes. Was it Black Friday?
I think it was Black Friday.
I think it was. Okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
No.
In the stock market crash in 29. That it would rival that, if not be worse. Being that it's at 30,000, and to be honest with you, if it went from 30,000 down to 17, that's bad. That's bad. That's hurting a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to have to rename Freelance Friday to Financial Fridays.
No. No, because we started out on network marketing.
We did.
No, but
and we veer off, which is why it's Freelance Friday, right?
Right.
We never know where we're going to go. So, and disclaimer for all the world, none of this is to be construed as financial advice of any kind.
I was going to say that. Absolutely.
Consult your accountants, lawyers, financial professionals. We're just
everyday people
talking about what we're doing.
That's right. Everyday people. That's right. That's all we're doing. Yep. And, it's no different than network marketing. It's a gamble, right? When you join a new company, Miss Marie, you're rolling the dice. It's lightning in a bottle. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah. Well, you can do your due diligence, and you can research and get as much information as you possibly can.
The 5 things a company must have, right?
Yeah. But there are always those things that are the unknowns and can't be predicted. And even though you think it's going to go one way, circumstances outside your control may change it that it goes a totally different way, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to really, Miss Marie, to make a decision on the fly sometimes, whether to stay or to go, guys. I've left companies, Miss Marie. I know I've only been with 5 or 6. I told you that. Now, one day I'll sit down and count them. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember. But I know there was one company I left pretty darn quick, almost 2, but one I left real quick. It didn't take long. And I wanted to find out. I think it was the first. No, what? But it was a binary. I know that. But it was a company that it didn't take long, to figure out. And I kind of went into it, as I told you. I remember us having this discussion. I went into it voluntarily to see the inside, if you will, if that makes sense.
Well, that's part of it. Sometimes you can't know until you're actually involved.
That's right.
So,
yes. And once my thoughts were verified, I went and left. It didn't take long, as you can imagine. Right. But for the most part, I've had a lot of, as I told you, I'm one of the few I know. And I'm not sugarcoating. Most people, there's no way for them to know. But I've looked back and I've had a very good experience. I really haven't had anything bad. I've had 2 that I know of, maybe more, that went out of business. That sucked, as you know.
Yeah.
When those checks stop coming, that really bites. But what can you do? What can you do? But it's no different than the stock market. You're going to put your time and effort and money into a company that you really don't know what the future holds. And it's no different. It's just like putting that money in a slot machine in Vegas, Missouri. Well, here we go.
Sometimes it can be.
Yes. I remember one story. What was it? There's a number of stories out of Vegas like this. You can find them everywhere, but I remember one specifically. A gentleman won $1 million or $3 million. I can't remember. on a Friday, and he put it all back in by Sunday. Did not walk away. I don't know about you. That man needs to be taken out in the street and beat like a dog.
Yeah, that's when you gotta listen. You gotta listen to that old Kenny Rogers song, right? You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
That's right, absolutely. Yeah.
Know when to walk away, know when to run.
Yes. Oh man, I got some daggone Vegas story. I got stories, period. I mean, you know that I've done so much that every time we talk about a subject, all these memories come flashing back. I can't tell you how many hookers hit on us as we were out there. Wow, it was like the Wild West. Why your wives are right there? They didn't care. They didn't care at all. And
crazy.
It is crazy, that it's that open. They were sitting on the wall on the sidewalk as we were walking down, and they jumped off the wall and they followed us. And me and my wife were in front, and my mom and dad were behind us, and they were right there hitting on me and my dad while our wives were right there. I mean, it was crazy. And then we were staying at Golden Nugget, and I got on the elevator, and it was just me and this girl. And man, she kept begging me to come up to this room because they were having an orgy up there. I know. I told her, no, that's all right. No, thank you. And she said, what room are you in? I didn't tell her, of course.
I'm not staying here.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, it's crazy. I tell you.
That is crazy. Well, I tell you what, couple of the topics we've touched on here today are going to be some of the subjects we're talking about coming up next week. We're heading into the last week of February.
And what is Monday's subject, by the way?
Monday's subject is we are going to do a deep dive on the 5 simple steps.
Oh.
Because we touch on it, we talk about it, we bring it up all the time, but I don't think we've actually ever done a pure episode on the 5 simple steps. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Monday. And then some of the topics the rest of the week, which I'm not going to say, you're just going to have to join us on Monday and find out, are going to tie into that as well. And we've got a pretty strong week coming up to close out February.
Well, you don't want to miss Mondays. That's for sure. The 5 simple steps to networking success.
Yep.
Because man, that is the essence, or that's the basic
foundation.
Thank you. boy, thank God she's here. The foundation of what we teach, period. And that without the 5 simple steps, you have nothing, guys. I dare you to look at those 5 simple steps and find one that you can leave out. Miss Marie, I can't think of a one. Can you? Literally.
Nope. That's why we boiled it down to 5 simple steps.
That's right. That's all it takes to make the business go. Develop a constant source of high quality leads, deliver the music to the ears message, do your 90-day mini blast, identify and work with your leaders in step 5, CCBBBA, which means consistent, correct business building activity, which in essence, if you're going to break it down to 2 or 3 words, repeat, rinse and repeat. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep.
Isn't that what it is?
The famous shampoo instruction, rinse.
There you go. That's right. That's right. And guys, you can have networking success in 90 days or less. It doesn't mean that you can make $20,000. You can, if you catch the right company, the right time, and do the right things. Man, there again, lightning in a bottle. But guys, success in 90 days or less using these 5 simple steps, yes. What that means is, can you build a successful foundation that can produce money in 90 days or less? And Miss Marie, the answer to that is absolutely, unequivocally, yes, without any doubt. And as you can see down there, we teach the basics. Our number one goal is to teach the basic business building principles, methods, and strategies that have been around for over 60 plus years. The same ones that are responsible for many of the legendary businesses and lifestyles you read about and see in videos. Miss Marie, you can't say it any clearer, any simpler than that right there on that flyer. That's what she's talking about. That's what we'll be covering on Monday. And she's right. We have never gone into any detail about what the 5 simple steps are. Of course, you saw what they are, but what they are. In other words, how you make them work. How do you make step 1 work? How do you make step 2 work, etc. We've never done that. So It's a great topic. And I look forward to doing that. And you always set up great week-to-week subjects. So I have no doubt the next week's going to be an exciting week. And guys, you don't want to miss it. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
Well,
I'm ready to roll into the weekend. How about you, Rob?
I am. I'm just going to say, you ready to call this a day?
Yep.
All right.
It's a Friday.
All right, guys. If you will, if you like what you hear and see, I guess, that'll work too. Please share, comment our social media platforms with others across the world. I'm just whatever reason struggling right now. Anyway, if you will, we depend on you to help us spread the word about what we're doing and what we bring to the table, the knowledge that we share. We want to help make network marketing better than what it is right now. We want you to succeed in this wonderful business model, and you can do that utilizing and accessing the information that we provide. And we want to help people all across the world. And you can help us reach those people by simply hitting the share button, by making comments, because the algorithms picks up all of that activity. And as everybody knows, it's on social media. That's really important, is it not, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
And so please do that. Also, if you will, give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear and you see the value in what we're talking about. That's really important to us. And if you will, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. A lot of great information there. And hashtag #TheMLMSolution to find us anywhere on the internet. Well, Miss Marie, with that, I think we're ready to get off of here.
Yep, sounds good. I'll look forward to seeing you Monday, February 22nd, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Me too. It's hard to hear that, February 22nd. And not hard, but I mean hard to believe. It's the 22nd. You and I were just talking about the 1st. We were talking about the 1st. I had a guy contact me I will say this. I had a guy contact me. He bought something from me on the 1st. I mailed it out on the 2nd. It never got to him. And I always keep receipts, and I write their names down on the receipt so I know who it is. And because sometimes I have to make a photocopy, scan it and send it to him saying, hey, it was shipped out on this date. And sure enough, he contacts me. I went ahead and reimbursed his money and then sent him the product again. And he said, no, keep the money. I don't want you to. Well, it's good business practice just to, he didn't complain. But anyway, I gave him his money back. Why? Because I want to go above and beyond. I'll have a customer for life if I do that. Now, the point is, that was February 1st. It was like yesterday. Now we're talking about the 22nd. I mean, I didn't have to go very far in my files to find February 1st is what I'm saying. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, my gosh, that was that long ago? I couldn't believe it, Miss Marie.
Yep, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, my gosh. Well, as I said, I'm a whole lot older than you. I reached that moment in life a lot quicker than you do. So don't rush me. All right. With that being said, she's smiling. That means it's time to go. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend, Miss Marie.
You too.
All right. Hold on. Let me put this thing out of our misery or put it this whole.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.